Today we'll be traveling on board of regional trains between Munich, the capital of Bavaria in the southern part of Germany, to Kufstein, what is just across the border from Germany in Austria and at the beginning of the Alps. These trains are being operated by the company Bayerische Regiobahn and do have the branding Meridian trains. You'll also find these trains between Munich and Salzburg in Austria. What it's like to travel on board of these local trains, we're all about to find out in this video. So join me on this international regional train between Kufstein in Austria and Munich in Germany. Today's journey will start at the railway station of München Hbf, or Munich main station. What is the biggest station in the state of Bavaria in the south of Germany. This railway station is being refurbished big time and basically Munich gets the station it deserves. This is a really important railway station and it functions really as an important hub for trains from, for example, Italy to Northern Europe and the other way around. This railway station is rather big and at both sides of the station you will find some more platforms and these might be a little bit hidden. So therefore the walking distance between the platforms might be relatively long in some situations. But here is our train for today. Before I will show you the interior of the train, let's take a close look at the exterior. The numbers 1 and 2 do indicate obviously where you find the first and the second class, and some icons do indicate what facilities can be found where. These are regional trains, so there are not that many facilities though. First class has been, apart from the number 1 at the side, also mentioned with an extra yellow stripe above the windows that will indicate exactly where the first class is located. LED screens at the front, the back and at several spots at the side of the train do indicate the final destination. For now let's take a close look at the interior of these trains, and this here is the first class. The first class isn't that much better than the second class, and personally I wouldn't buy a first class ticket if I would just be traveling on board of these trains. However, pretty often you have tickets that include a long distance train and a regional train, and therefore I think it's most interesting. This here the second class, and you find some special zones for people traveling with a bike, with a buggy for kids for example, and this has been marked crystal clear. The rest of the second class comes in a 2x2 configuration. Some seats do face each other, so bay seats, and in that situation you'll find a small table at the side, and this table also includes a power socket. Apart from the power socket integrated within these tables, you also find a litter bin. These trains are easy accessible, so from the platform you can go straight into the train without any barriers. And obviously there's also an easy accessible toilet what can be used as a diaper changing facility as well. Close to this point there's also a kind of information point for train staff, although the train staff was really walking around when I made this trip. I recorded this by the way when the train was standing still at the railway station of Kufstein, because during the trip and at the moment I boarded this train in Munich it was a bit busy. For luggage, of course, at the moment seats do have the back ends towards each other, you can use this space as well, although it doesn't always seem that efficient at all spots. However, here you have a lot of space for luggage, but of course, throughout the train you also find the overhead luggage racks. Even though this is a local train where you can't make a reservation, there is an area that is meant for people who have a subscription for a specific route. So if it's busy, these people can have priority seats. Also the seat numbers are numbered. For the rest, these trains are relatively simple. No train tour is complete without showing you the regular toilets as well, and this is basically how they are. I didn't do a proper toilet review, I'm sorry for that. Information about the route will be given at screens throughout the train. Most screens are located between the carriages above the, entrance doors, but also right above the real entrance doors there are line maps, and right next to the entrance doors you will also find digital screens that will host route information. Time for a seat tour, and I will do this for the airline style or long distance bus seat compositions. You'll find a small but sturdy fold-out table in the seat in front, and these seats cannot be reclined. The legroom is okay-ish, but for a regional train it's well, good. There are no sunscreens, however right under the luggage racks you will find coat hangers. If you like this video or if it's a helpful video to you, please give me a thumbs up, and if you'd like to see more trip reports about more sustainable ways of transportation, then hit that subscribe button. The main focus for this YouTube channel is long distance and international traveling on a more sustainable way of transportation. And this is an international train, so ticks the box. Before we continue with this video, let's take a closer look on the route map for these trains. Right now we start our railway journey at München Hbf from Munich main station in Germany, and we'll be going to Kufstein. Exactly these same trains do also operate between Munich and Salzburg in Austria. I made a trip report on these trains before, when I actually just started with this YouTube channel, and that was from Salzburg to Kufstein. The section between Kufstein and Salzburg is also being used a lot by domestic Austrian trains that will run within Germany for a small section but will not stop there. Back then, when I made this earlier trip report, I also traveled from Salzburg to Kufstein by local trains, and back then I changed trains in Rosenheim. Therefore, and especially for these regional trains, the railway station of Rosenheim is quite an important junction railway station. And apart from these regional trains, there are many long distance trains that do operate on exactly the same routes as where these local trains do operate on. For example, between Munich and Italy. And also the Austrian commercial railway company Westbahn is having trains on this route. Well, not on the Munich Kufstein section, but they do have trains on the Munich Salzburg section. Even though for most trip reports I start off by showing you the railway station where I departed from, in this situation I will show you the views from the train first, and later on I show you the railway station of Kufstein. Because Munich is first of all way too big, and second of all there are so many construction works going on that this video will be out of date way too soon. I still like this video to be helpful to you in, let's say, 5 or preferably even more years from now on. Even though our train started at Munich main station, it also called at Munich East station or München Ost. This is also a rather big railway station. For now I'll just show you some views from the train, and I'll get back to you at the railway station of Kufstein. Here our train is pulling in at the railway station of Kufstein, just across the border in Austria. The train we just took from Munich is basically a part of the railway line from Munich via Innsbruck to Verona in Italy. over the Brennan mountain pass through the Austrian and Italian Alps. So no surprise, you find many international trains on this route. Even though the railway station of Kufstein is not very big, you find a lot of trains that do call here. Not all long distance trains do call here though. For the regional trains, this is basically always a terminal station. Even though I'd love to see some more regional trains just going deeper into Austria from Germany and the other way around. At this side, so basically the north side of the railway station, you find the terminal tracks for the regional trains that go into Germany. At the middle of the railway station you'll find the non-terminal tracks, and these are mainly being used for long distance trains, so mainly railjet trains, Eurocity trains and even some night jet sleeper trains. And at the other side of the railway station, what I will show you in a bit, you find the regional trains to Innsbruck. Even though this place is not very big, at the front of the railway station there's a rather big bus stop. Information about departing buses has been given crystal clear on digital departure screens over here. For now, let's enter the main concourse of this railway station building. And even though it's a border railway station, it's not a big city like I already mentioned before. Over here you'll find some ticket counters for several railway companies, obviously the German and the Austrian ones, and there's also a staffed ticket counter. I really like it that they have staffed ticket counters, and I like to see this a little bit more often. Although with staff shortages nowadays, I think this might also be a little bit challenging. Apart from the old-fashioned paper timetables, you find at quite a lot of spots within this railway station, also at the platforms. There are lots of digital departure information screens as well. And also composition screens for long distance trains can be found in old-fashioned, screens like you can see over here, so you know more or less what carriage will be where at the different platforms. For now it's about time to go to my next train that I will take from here to Innsbruck, the capital of the Austrian state of Tyrol. This train will depart from the other end from the main concourse building from where I arrived, and this is at another terminal track. And even though yes, it's another train, I will not do another train review for these trains. By the way, these trains are the Siemens Dicero trains, and they look very similar to the Siemens Dicero trains you can find in Belgium, for example, at least from the outside. But I can tell you one thing for sure. These trains are way more comfortable at the inside than the Siemens Dicero trains you can find in Belgium. This train ride is actually beautiful. There's the mountains behind me. I really love the Alps. I hope you liked this video, or this has been a helpful video to you. If so, please give me a thumbs up. And like I already mentioned, if you'd like to see more trip reports about more sustainable ways of transportation, mainly focusing on long distance and international traveling, mainly by train, sometimes other modes of transportation, then hit that subscribe button. Before I really end this video, one last thing. Once again, thank you so much for watching, I really appreciate it. Also likes, subscriptions, at least if you watch other videos, and comments are very much appreciated to influence the algorithm. If you're interested in other trip reports, you can find them on this channel, but something else, in the description of this video you'll find a link to a map where you find it all as well.